I've gone through, even the last few years, had to reevaluate how I was approaching my own health, my own diet, everything I was doing. I started running myself down, actually. So about 4 years ago, I realized, so basically I'd been eating low carb for years, been preaching low carb since probably 2002, started intermittent fasting in 2010, playing with that, recommending to my clients. 2015, I was doing probably 24-hour fasts once a week, 15, 18-hour fasts the other days with fasted workouts, high intensity. It's like all these wonderful tools, these hormetic stressors that are in and of themselves used properly for the right goal. They're very useful, great tools. I was pulling all the levers, and I was pretty lean, very active. My fasting insulin was probably 3, so I'm very metabolically healthy. I didn't need to be pulling all the stress. It was too much. And so I was feeling run down. My sleep was not good. I was feeling like the muscle burn even when I wasn't working out. My blood work showed elevated TSH, which is the thyroid stimulating hormone. It's the hormone that stimulates your pituitary to put out more T4 and T3. So that means it was stressed. My sex hormone binding globulin was very high, which means that cortisol is high. So cortisol and epinephrine were cranking. And that can, with that sex hormone protein, it binds to free testosterone in your system. So you could have your normal total testosterone's at normal levels, but your free gets tied up by elevated SHBG. Not good either. So stressed out thyroid, free T being tied up from the stress and the high cortisol, not sleeping well, looked good, didn't feel good, and couldn't grow, couldn't recover very well. Endurance was taxed. And I'm like, what? Okay, what am I doing wrong? So I had a little talk with a friend of mine who's an MD who he doesn't do all those. He understands those things. He was in the weight loss space, but he's like, I said, I just need somebody to bounce stuff off of. He said, you're doing everything. You're doing too much. It's like, back off, feed yourself, you know? And I'm like, okay, all right, you're probably right. And so I had to, back off on working out as often, put in a few more carbs, less fasting, started feeling better. So slowly started moving in that direction to the point where like 9 months ago, I really said, I need to start tracking my food. Like I never, like where I got a food scale and I got MyFitnessPal out and I'm consistently every day, I'm weighing the meat. I'm weighing the potato or whatever it is. And I'm logging it in there. I was like, well, how much am I eating? Like how much protein am I really getting? How many carbs am I eating? How do I feel after I do that? So getting nitty gritty with it, like getting a little sciencey with it rather than just shooting from the hip by how I felt. Right. And realized, it finally hit me over the last year or so. I've been eating like a dieter instead of an athlete, but I had the metabolism and the activity level of someone who's fairly athletic. Yeah. So, and I was getting older. I mean, this hit me at 49, and I'm like, okay, you can't sustain this. So I'm thinking, okay, given up to age, thinking back, it wasn't smart at any age. It was too much, right? So now I'm at a much more, I guess you would say, a balanced diet, eating very clean, whole food. My carbs are like potatoes, fruit, sweet potatoes, occasionally a little rice, especially when someone tells me go get it at KG Barbecue.
Cashew pomegranate rice from KG. Change your life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's life-changing. And the lamb, it's amazing. But anywhere from 250. I mean, before I was maybe floating, even after I corrected it the last couple of years, floating around, 150, 200 grams of carbs a day. And I'm like, I'm doing all right. But really started thinking, getting a little more sciencey with it. I hit my protein target at 200, all meat. Fat is up there because I eat fatty meat. I'm not living on chicken breast and canned tuna, right? I'm eating good, hearty, fatty meats, real meat. And then filling in the gap, when I ate that way, I'm still 1,200 calories short of my total calorie consumption, just to hit baseline for basal metabolic rate and my active calories, right? So for maintenance calories was at 2,900, and I'm coming in at 1,700 maybe with just the protein and the fat. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm working out 3 or 4 times a week with weights plus doing other cardio stuff, sprinting. It's like, I need carbs. This is basic exercise science fueling. So I just filled in that gap up to maintenance calories with about 300 grams of carbs. Worked out 1,200 calories. Oh my gosh. Just felt so much better, recovering better, getting stronger, sleeping better, stopped the fasting. I mean, because I'm like getting older too. I just didn't need it. I mean, I'm working to hang on to muscle mass. And it's much harder to assimilate protein as we get older.
Yeah.
So here I'm 53 at the time, and just it's like I need to start thinking about hanging on to as much muscle as possible